Hello, Katrina. Today I wanted to talk about adjusting your goals in order to make them more realistic. A lot of times when you're setting goals, things sound a lot easier than they actually are. In fact, I would say every time you're setting goals, you think it's going to be easier than it actually is. You know, when you're planning it out and in your head, saying 10 pounds a month feels really realistic, and that's 30 days, that should be plenty. But then when you try doing it, you realize that's actually super difficult. And while yes, it is possible and you are capable of accomplishing it, you might end up feeling like really burnt out and just kind of unhappy, which is counterproductive because the whole point of accomplishing whatever goal it is ultimately comes down to your happiness. So if the process of getting there is making you miserable, I don't think that the end results can really be worth it, What I've found is that sometimes, especially when it's the first time you've ever attempted something, you just don't realize what it will realistically take. And it doesn't just go with weight loss either. This can apply to any goal. Me writing my manuscript this year has been a perfect example. I gave myself the 1-year deadline that at New Year I wanted to be sending my manuscript off to agents, and I'm starting to realize that's not realistic, and I'm adjusting it, and really now I'm just at a point where as long as I'm consistently working on it, I don't care exactly what the date is. Because this is the first time I've ever written a full, proper manuscript, so I didn't really know how long it was going to take me. Even if you look up how long these things take other people, your circumstances are different. You have to take into account not just is it possible for this thing to happen, but is it possible with your lifestyle, How much do you work? How much do you have family obligations? How often do you have to do X, Y, and Z? And then figure out what's a realistic work schedule, exercise schedule, whatever, to fit into that. And I guess I just wanted to make a video saying that it's okay if halfway through you realize that the goal you set isn't a good goal or it's not realistic, and that you're allowed to change it. You're allowed to get halfway through and say, actually, rather than trying to lose 10 pounds a month, I'm going to try to lose 5 pounds a month because that feels more plausible. You're allowed to do that, and you shouldn't feel guilty and you shouldn't feel like you're quitting, because you're not quitting, you're just adjusting, and that's a really important difference. We talk a lot about our goals on this channel, and I think that's really important, but sometimes, at least for me, I get so focused on the end game that I kind of forget about the journey. I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's true, it's not just about reaching the finish line, it's about the process and how you got there, and did you enjoy the experience? Because even though you don't enjoy going to the gym, you do enjoy how it makes you feel. Katrina, I know you felt the same way with this. When we were doing Insanity, it felt so good to just say, I'm doing Insanity. That sense of pride that it gives you. So if you have to adjust the goal or give yourself more time or set smaller amounts, don't worry about that. Worry about what you're doing to just get there. Worry about the progress that you're making rather than the finish line. Hopefully all of that wasn't too rambly or too preachy. I just wanted to talk about it because when I changed my manuscript goal, I felt really guilty and like I failed and like I messed up and I'm dropping out and I screwed it up. But then once logical Andy came into the conversation, it made me realize, no, I'm not quitting. I'm still working on my manuscript. In fact, I did work on it every single day for the week, which makes me feel really good. There's nothing wrong with needing more time, particularly with your personal goals, because there are actually no limitations. All that being said, I do think setting specific dates and goals and establishing those finish lines is really important because it can help keep you focused. Don't hate yourself if you don't reach your goal. Like if you say, I want to lose 10 pounds this month and you end up losing 8, I understand that's disappointing, but celebrate the 8 pounds you lost, Focus on the good news, because if you just focus on the 2 pounds of failure, you're going to be miserable, and I feel like that's going to set you up on this really bad path of continued failure. But if you just focus on what went right and, stay positive, it's going to be easier, and maybe with that good attitude, next time you will get the 10 pounds. As far as my own weight loss goes, I really have no idea where I'm at right now. I'm not going to weigh myself to the end of the month because I really don't want to obsessively weigh myself all the time. But I'm also trying to not worry about it because, like I said with the goal setting, what's important is that you're taking the right steps and moving in the right direction. And I am doing that. I feel like I can honestly say I am moving my life and my health in the right direction. So whether it takes me another 6 months or another 6 years to accomplish my weight loss goal, I'm still moving in a positive direction, and that's what I want to stay focused on. So I hope everyone watching this is also feeling positive. Katrina, I know for a fact that you are moving things in a positive direction, and I'll know more about it when I see you on Thursday.